Hey everybody, welcome back to Hollow Knight. These next few videos are just basically us starting up the plot again, and there's gonna be a lot of smash cuts as I also cover the plot and find a bunch of random things that everybody's been telling about. To wit, this.
What are we doing?
We're going hot tubbing.
Oh. Hello, sir.
I like this NPC a lot, because watch what happens when we psychic knife him. Go away, I just want to chill.
I found my hidden spring, now leave me alone. Plus, why'd you have to get right up into his grill immediately?
Because it's funny to me, just like, did you have to, like, bury yourself to enjoy the hot spring? What's up, man? What are you doing?
Hi, I'm the Hollow Knight. How's it going?
So, I think it was last video, our boy, the Stag Beetle told us about his, I don't know what you call it. I don't want to say like the bus stop because that sounds a little degrading, but basically this is like his home base. It's looking a little worse for wear.
His lonely home, because he is the last Stag Beetle, isn't he?
We'll figure that out soon enough, actually. Because I forgot to talk to the Stag Beetle again, and everybody in the thread was just like, you should probably be talking to him more, bro. And they're not wrong. I think at one point in this video I'm going to go back and talk to him. But I do want to examine one thing here first.
My self-esteem.
That's fine.
It'll work.
Over here, though, you get the achievement Hope for examining that egg, which is one sign that I don't think it's all bad.
Thank goodness they all know how to make breakfast.
Can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs, Hollow Knight.
Can't make an omelet without making a race extinct.
But also, if we talk to him, he mentioned some stuff.
I like the idea, oh, we're extinct. Is it possible that maybe your friends just left? Shit, I didn't think of that.
Look, man, it's been so long. My brain's just not all there.
I just think on a bug bust sort of philosophy.
I just like the idea of the Bug Bus collective just chatting like, yeah, I had to bring a family up to Newark. It was crazy.
Have you seen that cat bus fucker?
Yeah, he's
stealing
weird.
our stick.
So, the Howling Cliffs is a strange place that if you want to just, beat the game, you don't have to go here ever.
But we don't just want to beat the game, so...
Yeah, you gotta do everything. Gotta show off the game. There's a lot of neat stuff here, though, namely this.
Nice hair. I'm Gorb, cool. Bow, 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 bow to Garb. Gorb. Gerb.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about this guy. But he's a fight.
So fight him.
This is the weirdest fucking fight ever, just real talk. But also, it's good practice for the final boss because this is actually one of the final boss's patterns.
Hey. I was about to... she didn't look too difficult until she's changing up the patterns here.
It's not too hard. Mainly, you're gonna get surprised by the third and second wave because you'll be going through and like, oh, new wave, shit. But once you realize that it's just kind of, a pattern, a very basic shmup pattern, you can just go left, right, left, you're fine.
I am Gorb. I'm glad they didn't make me into a real boss. Aww.
Yeah, I don't know what this boss is. If it was a Kickstarter boss, that's a little...
Look, guys, I have this idea. I'll pay you $5,000 to put in this character with no arms and no legs and a big head. Yeah, you any more there? No, that's fine. I want him to be Gorb.
It feels so out of place is the big issue I have with it.
All the spirit battles have been feeling out of place.
Which ones have we done so far? I don't know. I feel like the dude with the scythe was not too bad.
I'm not saying they're bad, but they do seem thematically out of place.
Yeah. Yeah, I could kind of see that. It feels like someone's stabbing my brain, but I'm fine.
Well, how long have you been there?
If I remember right, this is the last Nail Master.
Model is not a model.
Luckily, he doesn't demand anything dumb. He just wants to give you a technique. Now, this charge attack, I don't know how to feel about it, mainly because I rarely find the opportunity to use it. Some people have told me that is probably the most damaging charge attack in the game if you manage to hit with all of them. Because apparently it hits 4 times. Just like, imagine a regular hit 4 times. But also, since it acts kind of like a regular hit, it does knockback, so unless you're fighting a boss with it, it only ever hits like once or twice.
Seems like a wasted ability, though, because, I mean, it's understandable in attack where there's a lot of recoil in your attack, like with Linker, for example, but your attacks are so fast. I guess the range is really high, but...
It's versatile, but I don't know, I feel like the other ones are just better. I mean, it probably would have been better if it acted like Hornet's attack, where it's just, you know, an AoE attack. But this one just feels kind of limited.
Does the map brother show up here as well? Because I noticed you're lacking a map.
Oh yeah.
He looks to you and goes, "You don't need to be here."
Now, if we jumped off here, we would actually find ourselves directly above Dirtmouth. So if we wanted to just go back to town, we could dash off that cliff and, you know, just drop in.
I also noticed this place is just a pile of corpses.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. We'll learn exactly why it's as such in a couple minutes. Yeah, a couple minutes. But, the Howling Cliffs is kind of interesting, mainly because, one of the big teasers that, was in this game was an image of our character just walking along these plains, but he was surrounded by bugs that were just hundreds of times taller than him, and even flying ones. So in some ways, when I first got this game, I was kind of expecting a grander scale of things. So it's a little neat that we get to go here, but it's also kind of like some slight missed opportunities.
Probably also a bit of a limitation of budget, too.
Yeah.
Kickstarter games, you basically get stuck with the linear map because it's hard to make open maps.
I also don't think this thing broke half its milestones, so it did relatively well for a Kickstarter game, but not like a slam dunk like, say, Mighty Number 9 or... what's another one? God, what was that futuristic, like, Cyber Knight one? I'm trying to remember the name of it. Hyper Light Drifter.
Only one of those games is good. Guess which one?
Oh man, this is like dated news, but you hear about the Kickstarter rewards for Mighty Number 9 of the boxed version of it?
No.
They gave you like a unfolded, just off the printing press box and the instruction manual. No physical guide whatsoever. You have to assemble the box, and the instruction manual is bigger than the box.
Oh my god.
Like,
I feel like at a point they're doing it on purpose.
It almost feels like it, doesn't it?
We're gonna spite you because you didn't give our game a high review.
I don't even think it's that. I think it feels like they just had the identity and they rolled with it. There's also another thing I kind of wonder about. Did what was that other one? Something like
All right, Beetle.
Yeah. Enemies can fall into spikes, as we've seen before, but that one was just kind of funny. But yeah, I'm trying to remember that other one that Inafune did. Something like Red Crimson or something? That's redundant.
Red Crimson. Now that does sound like something that a Japanese game developer would make. And it's like, well, you know that means the same thing. What? Never mind.
Yeah, he wanted to do like a not Mega Man Legends 3, and he had like big ambitions, like an animated series and stuff. I don't know if that one succeeded, and I haven't heard anything about it, so I feel like that's another just like thing that he got away with. But enough about that. Look at this place.
The flowers are escaping.
I like the spectacle of this area. I think it looks neat.
That dead person's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess not.
So, we got a new badge. I believe this one is the one that converts all your health to blue health. Also, when you leave, a ghost appears. So, I almost kind of killed her with the psychic knife.
I see you bear my blood!
This vaporizer for a single soul knife currency.
Totally worth it. I needed just one more.
But yeah, this is an interesting one because I like the concept of having way more health but you can't restore it. But also it's required for a puzzle later in the game. Well, maybe required is a kind of bold claim. The puzzle you could do by other means, and that other mean is going to every other map and then just getting the requisite, like, blue blood thing there. But that's hard. That is just inordinately hard.
Blue blood thing, you say?
Yeah. It's called Lifeblood, but, you know, blue blood came to mind because reasons.
Oh, God. Also, I'm waiting for the point where this certain map maker starts slowly showing the corruption. Like, the whistling comes more of a... You just see an orange thing on his head.
That would be brutal. Like, man, that would be really good. Because they actually do something that effect in a RPG on Steam called Lisa.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah, Voice of Dog did an LP of that, and he's doing the sequel. In the sequel, they do something similar to that, but I'm not going to say anything else because that would be, you know... I'm already hitting spoiler territory, so I should just shut up.
Be a little bit like the brain slug thing from Futurama. Hello, hello, knight. Would you like a brain slug?
So, Cornifer mentioned Desolate Plains, and this is something I kind of like, even though they don't let you do anything with it. You could totally attempt to just go there and actually make it, but not really get anywhere. Because there's nothing beyond those plains, it's just desolation out there.
It looks like a war because there's spears everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, it's a kingdom, and kingdoms probably get invaded, so they just leave the dead... What's the word I'm looking for? Not... I want to say carcasses, but there's like a... Exoskeletons, I guess?
Yes.
I think chitin was the word I was thinking of, but that's a little too on the nose.
Baten Kaito.
Baten Kaitos is a game I've never played.
Not even the second one. Like, I want to play those, but I never actually played them myself either.
Now, when I heard that noise a while ago, I was kind of going through here expecting to get like a heart piece or something. We're not gonna get anything that cool.
I like this where it's just like, the planes travel forever and you will not be able to find the end of it because we didn't make it.
Yeah. I do like that line though, like, leaving this place forfeits the mind that you so hold dear. Which is kind of interesting because it seems like this place is the only place where, you know, bugs could be independent should they choose.
You're a strong, independent, hollow bug. You don't need no soul.
No, not really. Well, kinda. We need that to, you know, shoot our sick fireballs. Now, I don't think that we need to get here through the last Stag's station. Like, there should be other ways to get into... Yep. They get one last one in.
Oh, well, Eyeglass is tougher than I thought. Try to hit with the Dream Nail. Aw.
Man, that's actually a good idea.
Here's if they're thinking anything.
That's actually a really good idea. Shit, why didn't I do that? Like, I would have to get... like, there's gonna be a bunch left. I'm saving the collectathon for the last bits. So, next time I find one, I'm gonna actively equip the psychic knife, upgrade it, so I could do that faster. I want to see what those things think.
See, guy who was getting on to Wang for not playing these things in advance. You know, when we come up with ideas like this, now you get to test them.
Yeah. So it's been a long time since we've been here, mainly because I didn't have the means to do so. Now, I could have gone back here when we went to the sewer, but I honestly just up and forgot.
Wow. You wrecked that guy.
Yeah, they don't expect you to have charge attacks or a level 3 sword, or to just brute force him. Like, they even gave him the music and everything. It's hilarious.
Dun, 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 dun.
Now, the water below is acid, and we could go further, but don't go there quite yet. That monster's for the monster journal. Like, you could kill it at any time, but you don't really think to like, that's something you really wouldn't think to kill for the monster journal.
It's a cool design, though.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's pretty harmless, so...
It really is. It can't do damage to you.
Not even running into it?
I don't think so. I've never been, you know, reckless enough to try.
That's another sign that the world has ended, is when most of the water is acidic.
Yeah. Like, you had to have messed up pretty bad for that to happen.
I can tell this point is like, haha, this acid water is a hazard. And you're just like, yeah, that's cool.
It's mainly level designed to say if you somehow got here without the badge, you're not getting any farther. Especially when you go here and it's just a pool of acid. Delightful.
Alka-Seltzer. Oh, hello. You're not a bug.
This guy, I really wanted the psychic knife, but I couldn't. This guy, though, gives us a really cool trinket. The shape of Unn allows us to move while healing, but not in the way you'd expect.
A slug comes underneath you and you can just slide across the floor.
You're not too far off.
See, it's what I expected. You were wrong.
Damn it. You always manage to, like, betray my expectations. Just guessing exactly what's gonna happen. It's happened to Onikin, too, goddammit.
Yep. We'll never say things like it's not what you expect, because then my mind starts cranking.
Well, I'm gonna prove him wrong now. So, next time on my Hollow Knight, we've explored all of the areas that we, you know, don't have to do. We've explored most of the map. The only thing left now is to progress the plot.
Mr. Hollow Knight, would you like your collective brain slug?
No. Would that even work? Because technically the thing doesn't have a brain.
Well, that's why it didn't work on Fry. It starved to death, remember?
Poor thing died of starvation. Man, that'd be a neat thing to see in this game, the brain slug.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, speaking of, that reminds me, the developers actually announced new DLC for the game, and actually substantial DLC. Do I still have the tabs up on my computer? No, I don't. It's called... Oh, what the hell is it called? Hang on. I actually have to open up the thread to see what it is, because I forgot
You gotta close out your pizzahater.com forum. Okay, cool.
Here it is. They're releasing effectively a side campaign called The Grim Troop. And it's a very red-themed campaign. And supposedly all about the spiders, because we went into Deep Nest and we saw a bunch of spider stuff, but it never really went anywhere. And supposedly this new free DLC, which is kind of baffling, is going to expand on that.
Why would you release a DLC for free? Sell it for like $5, $1, something.
I think they made it free because it was an incentive from the Kickstarter. They were just like, we were going to do this and this and this. Well, we better own up to this. So they've made their money. Now they're just like, all right, let's deliver the product.
I would make free DLC if you managed to completely hit your milestones, but to give it away when you only met half of them.
I think their milestones was the cusp of gameplay elements versus accessibility, because their original plan was just Nintendo Wii U and the computer, and their Kickstarter goals stopped just after hitting the second campaign goal, but before the third one. So the third campaign goal, if anything, is probably going to be paid DLC. And then everything afterwards was just like PS4 port, Xbone port, what the hell else was there? I think they said Switch port before the Switch actually came out, and they're like, yeah, the Wii U's dead, let's just go to Switch.
It's funny how many, just because the Wii U's struggling to survive, released a lot of indie games trying to keep up with like PS4 and Xbones, and they were not the greatest. But you know, they release games like this at the very least, which seems like a very Nintendo-esque game.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that I feel like they would probably sue them because it looks a lot like Metroid.
That's a tough call, because there's a lot of elements to Metroid, but there's nothing egregious that says, yo, that's Metroid. There are games on the PC like Environmental Station Alpha and Axiom Verge that you look at points in those games and like, yo, that's Metroid.
Or a current one that got released called A Robot Named Death.
Yeah, I was given a free CD key for that, but I looked at the trailer and I was like, I'm not really feeling it. There's something about like the movement and the speed of the game that I just wasn't feeling. But yeah, like, I could see why they released this for free, just because I remember in one of the developer journals, they said they hit far more than they ever expected to. So I'm glad they understood their limitations, and they're still doing something cool, like releasing this free side campaign.
The Brain Sug says to release the DLC.
Yes, master.
Please watch more of our LP of a game.
Yeah, please watch our LP of game that is possibly going to go on way longer than I expected, because that DLC is coming out at the end of October.
We'll be seeing you guys in part 52.
Yeah, fuck.
Keep working, slave.